Welcome to Global Investment Insights, a weekly podcast brought to you by ADCB Asset Management. My name is Kishore Muktinutalapati, Head of Investment Strategy. With an objective to empower you with investment insights, on this program we discuss various perspectives that are shaping the global investment landscape. Recent weeks saw increased focus on US-China relationship. After all, both the US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen and the Secretary of State Antony Blinken visited Beijing and met with various Chinese officials. This has made investors wonder if the US-China relationship could be on a mend after having been very volatile in recent years. The interest is because the friction in the relationship between both countries drove concern among investors that multinational companies would have a harder time doing business in China in the future. So, what's going on? When thinking about the US-China relationship, we tend to use the framework of 4 C's: cooperation, competition, confrontation, and communication. Let's deal with each of them one by one. First, on matters that are of global significance, US and China need to engage in a cooperative mode. These matters include global climate change and global pandemics, for instance. It's important for both countries and global investors that the world's 2 largest economies are engaged meaningfully in this area. In our view, while both parties might want to use this point as a leverage in their negotiations on other issues, we think both countries are incentivized to work together here. The second C is competition. With projections showing that China is set to overtake the US as the world's largest economy within the next decade, it's not hard to imagine both countries engaging in a competitive mode. This is especially true when it comes to investments in the next generation high-tech sectors. More rules and barriers of trade are in the offing. As we have argued several times in the past, investors should position for 2 spheres of technology influence. When it comes to geopolitical ambitions, the most likely mode of US-China engagement is confrontation. That is our third C in the 4C framework. While we're not calling for a physical confrontation, the long-term trend here is likely to be one of rising and falling geopolitical tensions, which might make headlines and cause financial market volatility. Communication, the 4th C in our framework, is likely to become the most important dipstick while assessing the US-China relationship. As long as the channels of communication between both countries remain open, investors are likely to treat it as a positive sign. The absence of communication is likely to be treated as the source of uncertainty. In this context, the recent China visits of US officials are being seen through the positive lens. Long story short, US-China relationship is likely to be one of the most defining aspects of the geopolitical landscape over the next decades. We use our 4C framework of cooperation, competition, confrontation, and communication when thinking about this issue. Here, it's important to differentiate the speed at which each of those 4 C's is likely to influence financial markets. For example, while communication-related impacts are likely to be felt on shorter time frames, the impacts of competition and confrontation are likely to be realized on the long term. Accordingly, investors should consider both risks and opportunities that this facet of the global economy would present. Diversifying investments across geographies and actively managing currency exposures are very important in managing risks. In terms of opportunities, for example, Japanese and Indian equities could benefit from friendshoring by US corporations. Mexico can also benefit from the nearshoring. Thanks for listening. We hope you found this podcast useful. If you did, please do share this and other episodes with family, friends, and colleagues. For more information regarding how changing geopolitical landscape might impact your portfolios, please reach out to your contact at ADCB. You can also log on to our website at www.adcbam.com. My name is Kishore Muktinutalapati, and I'll be back next week with another episode of Global Investment Insights.